Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring a team in the Ultra League that counters Caleb's dreaded, very powerful Verzion Steelix core, and I'm going to be leading Talonflame with Pidgeot in the back and Greedent. Greedent as normally the safe swap. Overall, I went 14 and 11 with this team. Some misplays on my side and some really great plays by the opponent. There's certainly some tough, like switch-ins are really hard to deal with, just because Pidgeot and Greedent don't really beat too many things really badly in the back, but there was definitely a lot of teams that were core broken by Talonflame. So we're gonna pick up Talonflame into Deoxys. So typically I throw the Brave Bird and Bail, and then I go to Greedent. The Brave Bird does quite a bit of damage. They do have the Thunderbolt now, so I do immediately swap, and they build up a little bit here. Interesting. Um, they go to 11. They throw the Thunderbolt. The Crunch will not KO, so, but I throw the Crunch, hoping to get the debuff, and I do get the debuff, which will prevent them from getting to another Thunderbolt. And they come into Wheezing. I am going to throw the Body Slam. This is actually a pretty decent matchup for Greedent, since Greedent is really tanky. And then as well, the Mud Shots are super effective against Tapu Fini. So I will throw the Body Slam. And then, unless they overheat, nothing KOs here. Well, I guess a Hyper Beam would KO, but they didn't have enough for that. So I will throw the Body Slam. I debated switching and incinerating down, but I was a little bit too worried that they were going to have Tapu Fini in the back, so I wanted to give myself a little bit of flexibility. I let this go. Nothing does that much damage except for Hyper Beam, of course. And let's see what they come in with. They come in with Cresselia. They do end up catching on Deoxys, which is totally fine because the Deoxys actually had energy. And then I'm going to do the dirtiest play in the game, which is debuff their last Pokemon into Oblivion and essentially make it impossible for them to win the game. So there's definitely some really tricky leads with this team, and some tricky situations. But with the right, and there's like it's a little bit more bait dependent than I enjoy. So they come Talonflame into Trevenant. This is actually a really good lead for me. They're staying in, and I actually want them to. They're building up here, and they come into Tapu Fini. I switch out into Greedent, and I'm a little bit concerned that it is a Steelix in the back. I will not. I'll let this go here. They actually end up baiting me, which works out a little bit better for me. I will throw the Body Slam. Unfortunately, I'm gonna not be able to take out this Tapu Fini before it makes it to a Moonblast. I would survive a Surf, so I throw the Body Slam, and the Surf wouldn't KO. The Moonblast would, and they wouldn't make it to 2 Surf, so it makes sense for them to go Moonblast. So I end up shielding this and farming down, and then I'm predicting that it's going to be a Steelix in the back. Otherwise, why would they stay? They do come into Steelix. I will throw the Crunch at the Steelix, do 4 more, and throw another Crunch. No defense drop. And I need to survive 3 more Dragon Tails to make it to another Crunch. I do get the defense fall, which is really clutch for me because now this Crunch is going to do enough damage that the Flame Charge would be enough to take out the Steelix. I do throw it right away to grab a shield. And yeah, I'm going to let this go. And I know they're going to come in Trev. I let this go. I'm not going to shield regardless. And then I'm going to let this go. I'm going to come into Pidgeot, and Pidgeot is going to get its revenge. Verse is the Shadow Steelix. It's super low, so I'm just going to fast forward here. They're going to throw a bunch of Seed Bombs. They try to CMP tie on the first one, which is a very smart play. And I will throw the Feather Dance right away because they do have the move. They end up shielding. Totally fine. I will do one and throw the Feather Dance. And this is a GG. Anyways, they're very debuffed at this point in time. Their attack cannot drop any lower. This is going to do absolutely no damage. And then I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird just to secure the win. First is Steelix. Steelix, get out of the way. Pidgeot is the OG debuffer. In is it? Maybe not. Let me see. What Pokemon debuff? I guess season 1 Cresselia, if you played GBL that long, is the OG debuffer when it was 30% chance. What else was the original debuffing Pokemon, if there was one in GBL for Ultra League? Okay, pick up an okay lead. I end up switching out because I have multiple answers for Cofagrigus, and I'm a little worried they're going to catch. They actually end up throwing the Dark Pulse versus me, which is good because Greedent's the tankiest Pokemon out of the 3 that I have, and they come into Skuntank. But I have such a huge energy advantage. I'm actually going to be able to control this switch very easily. I am going to overfarm a little bit here just to throw off their counts. And I'm going to easily be able to make it to this third Body Slam versus the Skuntank, which is going to force them to decide if they want to shield or not. I will end up shielding this. I will overfarm just a tad and throw the Body Slam. And then very interesting, they come into Cofagrigus, which is interesting to me. I throw the Crunch. Does not come close to KO. They just get the defense fall. I'm going to let this go. And then the opponent makes a nice play here. They actually end up catching the Crunch onto their own Tapu Fini, which is totally fine for me. I'm going to go into Pidgeot. And this is game over here. I'm just going to straight Feather Dance this Tapu Fini. It's going to be too low for to do really much versus the Pidgeot. And I'm just going to let this go. It doesn't matter if they Moonblast me or Surf. They actually end up throwing the Surf. I will make it to the Feather Dance at the same time or before they make it to the next move. But they're so debuffed at this point in time. So it is a CMP tie. They're dry now. And they actually come into I overfarm here. They actually come into Cobalion, not Cobalion, into Cofagrigus. And then I will just throw the Feather Dance, force them to throw. And then I'm going to farm down with Talonflame, take the Shadow Ball since they're debuffed, and this Tapu Fini does have a move. And since they're debuffed, this is not going to do... it's still going to do a decent amount, but it doesn't do as much as they would have done before. And they're going to be able to... I'm going to throw the Flame Charge. It doesn't matter if they shield or not shield. They're already pretty low. They do end up shielding, but they're just not going to be able to get to the move. I guess they were hoping that I was going to Brave Bird that Tapu Fini, which is the... which would have been pretty favorable for them because they definitely would have got Wire Gun down beforehand. All right. So very interesting Pokemon in the form of Cofagrigus. And we're going to have Talonflame into Polito. This was a weird game here. They come into Drapion, but unfortunately for them, this is a favorable matchup for Greedent. So I will let this go. They do have the Crunch. I'm going to throw the X Body Slam as soon as possible. And I think they are 2 away from the next Crunch, which I will survive. They are 2 away. I'm going to do 3, then throw, because if they have Aqua Tail, then it would be a CMP tie and I would lose CMP. So I do 3. If I knew for certain that they didn't have Aqua Tail, I would do 4, which is right before the Crunch. But I can't risk it. And then they come in Venusaur. I will chip them and then go into Pidgeot, though I should just went straight into Pidgeot. I come to Pidgeot, and then the opponent switches here, and then they top left. I guess this is still a playable matchup for them. Obviously, the Venusaur wasn't in a favorable situation at that point in time, but it was still playable for them. So, okay, this game I kind of messed up, to be honest. So they come into their own Talonflame. I will throw the Brave Bird at the opposing Talonflame. And then I switch into Pidgeot. They do 1 Incinerate. I will shield this. And they go for the Brave Bird, which is totally fine. 2 KOs. I think I would be able to wing attack down if they flame charge anyways. And then they come into Abomasnow. I should have Brave Bird the Abomasnow, to be honest, because there was no chance that they're not no chance they're going to shield, but very little chance. But the thing is, I felt it like it was a pretty safe situation because I was going to make it to 2 Feather Dances, which is going to put the Abomasnow almost in KO range. And then I will throw another Feather Dance. I let this go. And then I'm a little slow on the switch. They actually switch out into Charizard, and I debate whether or not I can make it. I actually got kind of confused there because I saw another Flying Fire. And I throw the Body Slam. And they actually end up no shielding that. It does a tremendous amount of damage. Here, I should probably crunch for the chance for the defense drop. But I go for the Body Slam, which they will have to shield. And then good counting by the opponent. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to wait the clock. Actually, no, I don't wait the clock. And they throw a good timing. I will end up shielding. They do throw the Blast Burn. Blast Burn does quite a bit of damage. So they throw the Blast Burn, and then I immediately swap to Wing Attack down. And 1 Wing Attack is enough. And I go for the Feather Dance, and then I completely forgot that I had so much energy on Talonflame. So you can see here, I almost lost this game. But thankfully I debuffed them, and I'm able to throw the move, or Incinerate down. Though I had the energy, so I should have just thrown at them. But that's quite all right. And I think we end up going 5-0 in that set. Anyways, just a quick video here showing off a team. It does struggle against a number of different Pokemon that switch in that do make it a little bit complicated, but this is a fun team to try out with Talonflame. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.